Hello, good to see you again. My name is Ben Kench and I'm the author of Selling for Dummies. Welcome once again to Sales Tip Wednesday. You know, I spend my life helping businesses, helping salespeople, helping sales teams grow. And one of the most common areas of challenge is the area of handling objections. You and I, every salesperson, customers, prospective buyers, they give us objections. So here are 3 simple steps that I always use. Number 1, it's very true that most buyers have a program of what they expect to happen. They have a program of what they're going to do. And they have a program of what they've done in the past that has worked to get them off the hook, because they're probably not ready to buy yet. They're just inquiring. So, number 1, with objections, what actually happens is the prospect has a program that says throw some spears in, some reflex objections in. Most salespeople give up. And I want you to understand that almost all of the time, the initial reaction that you hear as an objection is actually only a reflex. They've got a program that says you've got to do something to get rid of this salesperson, and so they have a program that says throw stuff at you. Now, it's a reflex, it's not real. Importantly, you need to deflect them, move on, not let them hit you. The worst thing you can do ever is answer one of those first reflexes as if it's real. It's not. If it comes up 3 or 4 times, yes. But most of them are reflex. They're not objections. It's like, I haven't got time. Yeah, I've only got 20 minutes. Yeah, but I'm not really the person. If they're not real, they will fade. Which brings us to point number 2. If they are real, you'll know, because it will come up 3 or 4 or 2 or whatever, become more often. Now, the first time it's thrown at you, it's not real. The second time, it's probably still not real. But if it comes up 3 or 4 times, they keep saying the same thing. Well, then you need to come back and say, okay. So stage 2, isolate and clarify. Can I just ask you, Ben, you've mentioned a couple of times since we've been chatting about X. How would that be for you then? Tell me what you really mean by that. Get some clarification and some substance to that objection. Because I promise you, most of the time the initial ones are not real. But if it's real, it will come up 3 or 4 times. When it's arisen 3 or 4 times, you deal with it. And the first way of dealing with it is to clarify, get them to clarify. Please, can I just ask, what exactly do you mean by that? And then isolate it. The third step is really quite powerful, but it must be done in the right way. So once you've understood that the first ones are reflexes, mostly they don't come up. When it keeps coming up, number 2, it's real, so you have to clarify and isolate. And number 3, if I could. So in other words, you say, Ben, that you couldn't buy because you needed to wait until next month when your colleague is in at work. If I could produce something for you that was perfect and ticked all the other boxes, would you be happy to go ahead subject to just to Ben's approval? And the third stage, after you've isolated it and you've clarified it, the third stage of a if I could, would you question is basically saying, look, okay, I hear what you're saying, Ben. You can't go ahead until next Thursday when you have a board meeting. But can I just clarify that aside from the board meeting, you're happy with everything else? So for argument's sake, if the board meeting had happened yesterday and all your peers agreed, would you be happy to go ahead on everything else you've seen? So if I could go back in time or go forward in time, would you be happy to go ahead on everything else you've seen? Always understand that objections follow the same rules. Number 1, they're fear reflexes. Most of the time they're not real. Number 2, if they're real, they'll come up 3 or 4 times, in which case you need to clarify it, isolate it. And the third stage is, if I could, would you? Which means you get permission to go ahead, except for the one real objection. So try that, my friend, because it really, really does work. I wish you well. Have a fabulous week selling. As always, if you have experiences where you have had that happen before and you've used it effectively, share it. If you've had situations which you couldn't get over and you'd like some ideas, share it. Call me, connect. Because I hope that we can all make more money and have more fun in an ethical, successful sales business. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.